Sometimes the person you're grieving was never actually the person you were with, and that's the painful part. Not the ending, not the breakup, not the silence. The real pain comes from realizing that you didn't fall for them. You fell for the story you built about them. Let me explain. I've watched people cry for months over someone who barely showed up for them. People who settle for breadcrumbs but convince themselves it's a feast. People who mistake potential for compatibility and attention for affection. Not because they're weak, but because the brain is a brilliant storyteller and the heart is a terrible editor. None of this happens because you're delusional. It happens because you're human. You were lonely. You were hopeful. You wanted something to finally make sense. You wanted stability. You wanted connection. And so when someone walked into your life with the slightest resemblance to what you've always wanted, your mind said, "This is it. Let's build around this." We don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with the meaning we attach to them. We fall in love with what we think they can fix, what they can soothe, what they can represent. Sometimes the person is just a mirror reflecting what we've been craving. So when it ends, when they leave, or pull away, or reveal who they truly are, your world doesn't collapse because they're gone. It collapses because the story you created has no one left to hold it up. You're not grieving a shared reality. You're grieving the future you fantasized about. The version of them that never existed. The version of you that you thought would finally be loved the right way. And that's why the heartbreak feels so intense. You're mourning a dream, not a person. If you rewatch the relationship honestly, you'll notice something. They didn't change. Your story did. The signs were always there. The inconsistencies, the distance, the mixed signals, the lack of effort, the emotional unavailability. But you kept rewriting the script to protect the fantasy. Love didn't blind you. Hope did. So what now? You stop grieving the character you created. You start seeing the person who was actually in front of you. And then something shifts. You realize they weren't the love of your life. They were the lesson of your life. A reminder to fall in love with actions, not potential. Fall in love with who someone is, not who you can imagine them becoming. Fall in love with reality, not a story. The right person won't need you to create a fantasy around them. Their consistency will write the story for you, and you won't need to fill in the blanks, because they'll actually show up. So no, you didn't fall for them. You fell for the peace you hoped they'd bring, the softness you wished they'd give, the life you imagined you could build together. But the truth is, you created all of that on your own, and now it's time to create something else. A story that's real, a story that's yours, a story that doesn't require pretending. And when you do, you won't lose yourself again in someone who never truly arrived.